Germans had a really cool leader at one time. There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
There's no doubt that Kanye was once one of the most influential artists of his generation, with connections to every part of the industry, collabing rap icons like Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Kid Cudi. But today, rappers don't even want to be associated with him. It's no secret that his recent outbursts contributed to the recent shift in perception towards Ye. But what really happened to turn Kanye from a rap legend into a shell of his former self? And what did this doctor do that would affect the rest of his life? In 2004, Kanye took the world by storm with the release of The College Dropout. What made Kanye stand out from the rest of the rap game wasn't just his incredible ability to rap, it was his ability to produce. Kanye started as a producer. He moved to Chicago at the age of 3 in 1980 and started making beats at the age of 14, finding his own style in soul sampling, more specifically chipmunk soul, a style of the early 2000s that uses sped up, high-pitched vocals to create a unique style, often taken from R&B or soul. Kanye, however, wasn't the first to do this. Chipmunk soul could be traced all the way back to RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, but Kanye was undoubtedly one of the greatest to do it. See, Kanye was making beats all the way back in 7th grade for games about giant penises in the Mario Brothers. However, Kanye wouldn't get into the rap game until he was about 14. In the early 1990s, his mother Donda West arranged for him to meet a well-known producer around the Chicago area, No ID, at his basement studio through connections she had with No ID's mother. There, 14-year-old Kanye was standing in a room with one of the biggest names in the Chicago rap game, wearing his MC Hammersmith pants and carrying a laptop with his song Green Eggs and Ham. Young Kanye wasn't anything special when it came to rapping. In fact, No ID noted he wasn't good, but that didn't discourage Kanye as he would a regular person. Kanye was persistent. He took what he learned from No ID, and his musical talent greatly improved from it. From that point on, No ID took Kanye under his wing. In the mid-1990s, Kanye would make a name for himself selling beats to rising artists around Chicago, particularly in the underground scene. In 1998, he got signed to the label Hip Hop since 1978 as a producer. Kanye would then form a group called the Go-Getters and independently release their first album through a company he founded, Conan Productions. He spent the late 1990s making himself known to the game, but it wouldn't be until the year 2000 when he finally got his break. Kanye got signed as an in-house producer at Rockefeller Records, producing for artists like Beanie Sigel and Freeway. He even helped Jay-Z produce what some people believe to be one of the greatest rap albums of all time, The Blueprint. But Kanye didn't want to be known for just producing. He saw himself as something bigger, as an actual rapper. The labels would overlook him though, because he didn't fit the typical gangster rapper aesthetic with his style and raps. That all changed in January of 2001 when he met Joe 3H at Right Track Studios in Midtown, New York. After explaining to Joe he really wanted to make his own raps and not just be a background producer, Kanye played a few of his songs. Joe immediately saw something in Kanye that not many labels or even people did at the time: potential. They would swiftly become close friends. Joe even offered to help Kanye get signed to Capitol Records, an offer Kanye quickly accepted. At around the same time, a record executive at Rockefeller, not wanting to lose Kanye to competitors, wanted to sign Kanye there, advising against Capitol Records. But Kanye was a man of his word and already committed to Capitol. Just as the deal was about to go through, Capitol pulled out last second, as it got word Kanye was just another producer rapper, or in other words, a rapper that was carried by his beats and didn't really have any lyrical talent. So Kanye left with only one option: signed to Rockefeller. 2 years after signing with Rockefeller, The College Dropout dropped in 2004 to critical acclaim. It wasn't just big, it was a cultural reset for rap. In a scene dominated by gangster rap, Kanye opened the doors to a completely new wave of rap, selling over 441,000 copies in week 1. The album was a strong start to Kanye's rap career. He followed that up with a generational run, dropping classics like Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies, Yeezus, and The Life of Pablo, which were all extremely positively received. There's no doubt in my mind that this was Kanye's peak. You'd be hard pressed to find a rap fan without Kanye in their top 10. Kanye had without a doubt made his mark on the game. Unfortunately, here's where things started to get dark. In December of 2016, Kanye was diagnosed with bipolar disorder type 1, which can be characterized by periods of depression and manic episodes, abnormal, elevated, or irritable moods, or what some would call crash outs. Sounding familiar, huh? Now the great thing is there's medication to counteract these abnormal behaviors. Medication to help people get their emotions back on track. It's 200 or 400 milligrams a day in 1 or 2 doses, and you'll be right back on track. Yeah, I think you know where this is going. Kanye stopped taking his meds in 2018, 2 years after he got diagnosed. In a deleted tweet he made on December 15, 2018, he said, "I cannot be on meds and make Watch the Throne level or dark fantasy level music, clearly stating his reason for stopping medication being medication somehow holding him back creatively. Now, bipolar can lead to both heightened and hindered creativity, but manic episodes can also lead to creative setbacks because of their intensity, and manic episodes happen way more often off medication than on medication. Now, of course, I'm not a psychologist by any means, so how could I know the effects of bipolar on Kanye's mental health? In his defense, Kanye wasn't on meds when he wrote his earlier work, and to a lot of people, including me, his best work. But since getting off the meds, his music has noticeably declined in quality, to the point where he refuses to even record some of his vocals and now insists an AI clone of his voice do it instead. Nothing he released after 2018 can even come close to touching any of his earlier works. Like, how is this competing with anything in graduation, Kanye? So why could Kanye make good music without medication before and not now? My personal theory is that his condition got worse. When bipolar isn't hugely impactful on someone's life, it's hard to detect. So I think when he got diagnosed with it, it had gotten bad enough to the point where it could affect him. However, Kanye claims he was misdiagnosed, but I'm not gonna say what race, what people, doctor, at what hospital. We know I can't say that.
It was a Jewish doctor.
Oh, the shenanigans he's been on? Yeah, I don't know about that. Aside from the bipolar, there's also another factor that contributed to the Kanye we see today. Remember the evil doctor I was talking to you about? That's Dr. Thomas Conley, a very controversial dentist and the guy behind Kanye's controversial $850,000 permanent titanium teeth. However, as stupid of a procedure as that was, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Nitrous oxide, or laughing gas, is something used in dental procedures as a sedative to help patients manage pain and reduce anxiety. If that was all it was used for, I'd be fine with it, but it isn't. And I'm not talking about whipped cream here, folks. People use it to get high. People use a drug that cuts oxygen circulation to the brain to get high. You better believe no dentist can that shit anywhere near me. Anyway, Dr. Conley allegedly introduced Kanye to this drug and Kanye got hooked. When you have as much money as Kanye, an addiction like this is something you can easily afford financially. Dr. Conley took advantage of this, charging Yeezy LLC outrageous prices for nitrous, even though nitrous is generally pretty cheap to obtain. Dr. Conley got Kanye hooked on a possible lifelong addiction, robbed him blind, and knocked titanium into Ye's mouth. I think it's pretty reasonable to say Kanye meeting this guy was a mistake. It's clear that Kanye is a different person than he used to be. Kanye fans aren't fans that are new Kanye. Ye went from an amazing rapper and producer to wanting to use AI to record his vocals. That's something the old Kanye would never stand for, as Kanye had actual pride attached to his work back then. And guys, I know you made graduation, but that's an excuse. I had to censor 70% of that clip. I will now officially step down as a Kanye Glazer to just a fan of the old Kanye. My final thoughts on Kanye are:
I miss the old Kanye.